Hi everyone, this is our second episode, and in this video I'll be taking you through all the planning and ideas that we have for the family T5 upgrades. I hope you enjoy. Okay, let me show you what's my planning and ideas that I got for the T5. We need to remove the lights, the grille, the bumper must come off. The plan is to get the engine off from the front. That's the best way from the previous time we did it. So we'll start off with that. This front end over here, this year I got from one of the used spare shops that's about 60 kilometers from where we are. They gave me quite good service and the deal was decent from the last time. So I figured the best was to go to the same guys this time around because I need the DSG shifter. And then this manual shifter will have to be removed. I'm actually quite sad of it because it's got the Audi TT ring that I fitted previously on, and that's quite cool. So sadly I'll have to let that go. Yeah, so I went to the same used spare shop. I went to the salesman at the counter, and he then took me to a T6 that they had, and this is where a bigger problem started for me. So he showed me the T6. First thing I noticed, I even forgot about the DSG shifter. He showed me all the interior panels and the seats, which I've been searching for quite some time now. This is from the new spec with a nice stitching and so on. So I started cutting a deal on the seats with him. I took the interior floor mats, all the panels at the bottom because I needed the trim to fit. It needs to match. So I had to get all this. And he was quite nice. He actually threw into the deal. Let me remove these here. Check this out. So he gave me these door panels, which are quite nice. This was for free. Oh, yeah, let me get the other one. Yeah, I'll show you this from the other side. This is the left one. Let's check this one out. Right there. And then I want to remove the left one. That one's pre-fitted, so I can show you quickly how that looks. So previously I had the two panels fitted. Let's quickly try and see if this comes out. It shouldn't be difficult. All the clips are loose. So it just comes out. Nope. Yeah, that's loose. So we can have a look at this. I'll show you. So you can see the difference. And yeah, why I was searching for this new interior is because of this light color gray. The T5, the complete interior was that color, and that was difficult to maintain. So yeah, here's the problem that I faced. Let's try and maybe put this one quickly on and I'll show you. So I put this panel on to try and see what does it look like. And let's do that. Come around. The problem I faced was that the clearance on the dash wasn't right. So I really like these panels, and to find a way to get them to work. That's sort of what it looks like. It's quite nice. But here's the complication that caused more trouble. So when I close the door wouldn't close because there's clearance here on the new panel and the old dash from the T5 is not enough. So I ended up going back to the used spare dealer and I had to get the dashboard, so that's why we got the new dash over here. That's the new dash with the new aircon controls. I also realized that this aircon controls is the new spec. That's the electronics, which is more aligned with the Passat's electronics. It will make it much easier for me to do the wiring and connections. And the cluster as well will fit quite easy into this dash from the Passat. So that will be perfect. And then watching some videos on YouTube about this dash, it comes with something quite nice. It's got a cooler It fits in the center. So this dash is known as the comfort dash. I actually can show you the cooler. Let's check this out. So it takes a water bottle in the center, and then the aircon pipe sort of fits to this cooler at the back here at the bottom. I'll have to get this all connected up. So your water bottle fits in there, and that comes in here. So that's sort of, okay, the angle is now a bit crappy, but sort of fits in the center over here. And then that's where your DSG shifter is going to be behind your new DSG knob. Here's some of the parts over here. Check here. Check this out. That's the DSG shifter. So it's got all this nice, they call it the piano black trim that will fit and match on that dash. And of course, I was scouting some extra parts from the T6 at the used space, so I had to get the brake pedal that's a bit bigger in size for the DSG. We'll still have to figure out to fit that up. I took the mirror as well, because this is the auto darkening mirror. And then something else I spotted on the T6 when I was checking it out was the brakes. So this was also quite interesting for me, and I couldn't resist it. I had to take this here. So the brakes we're gonna upgrade. So the T6 had a bigger caliper. It's got a bigger caliper than the T5 caliper. In fact, I actually measured the brake pad size. I checked out the brake pad size. These brake pads are like almost 50 millimeters longer than the T5's brake pad. And also these calipers are dual piston, so that's quite nice. The brakes will definitely be improved for that R36. The discs are also of course bigger, and I took this dust shields as well, so it's all bolt on. We'll get this cleaned up nicely, and then I think we'll also do a bit of custom work on it maybe. On the rear, we're looking at upgrading the rear calipers. We have to add on the second caliper. That's for the electronic handbrake from the Passat. So the Passat's got an electronic handbrake and the T5 doesn't have that, so we've got to try and get that system in. Also, I don't want the warnings to come on a cluster, so it'll be a good idea to get a full system transferred to you. What else is there? Oh yeah, and then I forgot this here. So we also got all the upper interior panels. This is on all the pillars and so on. That's from the T6. So these ones are a bit dirty, the material. The idea I got there is I think we'll have some of the material removed, and maybe we'll get, let's say, the whole upper interior covered with Alcantara on the top. But this will come on a later stage as we're making progress. So the steering wheel is something else there. The steering wheel you see here, this is the Passat's original steering when we bought the Passat. So that came with the Passat. It doesn't have any DSG pedal shifts on it. So it's just a normal multifunction steering. The T5's got a Scirocco R-line steering that came with pedal shifts. So this I bought from the same used spare shop. This was a while back then. I think it was one of the first items that I got from the spare shop. And also a good deal. I fitted that on here. So now with the pedal shifts, I had this idea to say, let me switch out the two steerings quickly. And I fitted the, let's call it the Scirocco R steering from the T5 into the Passat for now. Got the pedals to work. Programming, I did the programming on it. Let's quickly have a look at it. I'll show you. Steering it was in the T5. I've added on those nice pedal extenders, and then like I said, I did the programming, got the pedals to work. So the DSG box with those pedals is quite fun to drive. I'm enjoying it. Here inside, I want to also shift quickly. You see this, the center console. I got sort of spoiled in the last few months driving the Passat, so I want to get the center console transferred to the T5. Also has a center cooler, which I think will be quite nice to have in the T5. And then I need the start button with all these other functions over here with the handbrake button that must get transferred to the T5. What else do we have? Oops. It's okay. the PDC sensors, we're going to transfer the PDC sensors over from the electronic side. Yeah, here on the front, to check what's happening here on the front. So the T5.1 bumper that we got from the used spare shop, that was quite nice as well, because it came from a highline spec T5.1, which includes the PDC sensors which were never there on the T5 before. So we've got those slots which we can use for the Passat's front sensors. And then on the rear end, so on the rear, I didn't mention this as well. Let me just close this up here. So we've got a T6 full rear done already. So here I've got a very close friend known as Kazito. So he had a T6 at the time, and he decided to give me the T6 total rear end. So we did a swap out on the two vehicles, and the rear end also came with PDCs on the bumper. So the Passat's PDCs will then get transferred to this bumper. The additional sensor on the sides, so this here is the parallel park assist. So that will also be interesting. We want to transfer that over to the T5. And on the front, it's got the same setup. So here, check this sensor over here. We have to get that additional sensor fitted on the T5's bumper over there. So electronic wise, that's one of the functions we want to get. Something extra the car has got is this bending light function. So once your steering turns to a certain angle to either side, it's got a bending additional light that switches on to throw good lighting on the side of the car. So I'd like to get that also fitted somehow, and then we'll still see where to fit those lights on the T5's headlights. Oh yes, because of the parallel parking, the park assist, the steering rack on the Passat is got a motorized steering. So the motorized steering rack needs to get transferred to the T5. This one over here has got hydraulic. So the T5s all came with hydraulic steering rack. So I'll be doing a swap out of that. That makes it again a little interesting. So we'll give the T5 auto lights. We'll have the auto darkening mirror. We'll have the parallel park assist, the PDCs working. We're going to also transfer it's got tire pressure monitoring. So we'll also get that transferred over there. So it's quite a nice package that we're going to transfer in, as well as let's not forget the keyless start function. So that will also be transferred to the T5. Yeah, so pretty much that's about it. I think we're gonna get started. We'll start stripping out the front end. Maybe before we do that, I'd like to take you quickly for a drive. Let's go hear what this exhaust sound like. So we've got a low pressure on the front right tire that's running on 2 bars. I think let's quickly stop here and get it pumped up to spec, and then we can go take it on the road and hear what this exhaust sounds like. Okay, so our tires are now good to go. Let's hear what it sounds like. So I'm playing on the pedal shifts. It sounds really insane. That's the down shifts. Let's go again. Let's put it into sport. And I'm gonna let it go max so we can hear the gearbox shift noise. Yeah, it sounds insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so that brings us to the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed the videos. What I'll do for you now is I'll give you a quick video after this of the R36 sound from the outside of the car. Please remember, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in our next videos.